Thank you. So this is the first time I've worked with a handheld microphone, so we'll see. I tend to wave my hands around. But hi, anyways, I'm Chris. Some call me more than that. I consider myself a programmer at times. But I'm not just one thing. I'm a bunch of things. Developer, student, teacher, learner, dreamer, friend, leader. I'm a brother, and I'm just like you. I do a little bit of everything. And one of the things that I didn't do to start off with was I was never really into computers until we all received this iBook in 7th grade. And it was really an eye-opener for me because for the first time, I had a computer that I could actually use. Before then, it was just, I would use a desktop here or there, and it wasn't much. But this was the first time where I had something that was mine. And I thrived with it. And it was also the first time I had ever met Apple. I'll admit it, I was one of these guys at one point in time. And I was anti-Apple all the way. I couldn't grasp the concept of using this new machine. But I soon learned, and ever since then, I haven't been able to figure out why for so long I was stuck with Windows. But besides that, Apple's a great program, MLTI is a great program, and they really helped me get involved with technology, my school, and different projects. So moving into my middle school career, I have a nice little timeline set up. 7th grade, I had the iBook. I just started learning the basics. I explored everything. And I shared what I knew, and I taught others, and I just worked. There was nothing, nobody was teaching me anything. I just kind of explored, and that was great about it because it was mine. I could just do what I want with it. Moving into 7th grade, I learned this program called SketchUp, made by Google. And what it is it's a three-dimensional modeling program. And after a while, they had me teaching 8th graders how to use this program. A 7th grader teaching an 8th grade class how to use a program that I'd only used for 3 weeks. So right away, then I learned where I grasped this concept and I can just move and I continue moving. And moving into 8th grade, I started using different parts of the laptops because I had gotten so used to all these programs, I wasn't afraid to hit buttons, where I started reaching out to other aspects. So I started working with Apple's iLife suite. And one of the things that I worked with was iDVD. And right here you can see I started creating DVDs for the basketball team. Nothing big, making some highlight reels and whatnot, but it was just something else that I was able to learn. I had moved from programs and software, and now I'm moving to DVD production, filming. I learned how to use a camera, and it was great being able to get a broad perspective of all this technology. So next up in 8th grade, I kind of grew out of my laptop. There was a point where I said, I've done everything on here. I need something more. So I started going towards the internet. And the internet really got me involved in website creation, podcasts, and essentially I started this web business, you could call it. And what it was a place where I could store things that I created. Podcast, we could share it online. A piece of artwork that a friend had, share it online. It was a place where all the students could get together and check things out, keep up with each other, sort of like a Facebook, only in school. So I moved on, and the next thing that I helped do was I liked technology so much that I wanted others to learn about it. I wanted to share with what I had done. So I moved in to help create the first I-Team at school. The I-Team, a tech team, it was a group of students who felt like they were good in technology and good enough where they would teach others. And it was the bridge between the tech department and the students. The technology team, the I-Team was, if a student didn't feel comfortable finding a teacher, they could find us, and we'd try to help them and work from there. And we took this concept to Orono in 2008, and we did a presentation on how to start your very own I-team in your school. And I actually took John Jakes, who's sitting up front, as my tech director in 8th grade, and we moved along and showed others what you could do with just getting a student team started. So in all of this was how my insight of technology began. And then, welcome to high school. It was the first time that I finally realized that there's more people than just in my school. We had 3 other towns combined, or 2 other towns to make 3 total. And you had to start over, all over again. No one knew who I was. No one knew that I was involved in technology. It was just another student. I was just another freshman in the hall that, they just looked at and passed by. But what I tried to do in high school, and what I tried to share with others, is when you're a freshman, it can be good and bad to have, that image where no one knows you. Because then you can set your own image. It's a chance where you can make yourself be who you want to be. So I decided to be the all-in-one tech guy. I packaged myself up in a nice little presentation and said, here, look, I use technology. I think I'm pretty good with it. I'd love to help. And it just went on from there. And luckily, within that year, I was able to convince the entire school that if there's a tech problem, go and find Chris. He'll probably be able to help you. With all of this, I created something for myself called Fireware. It's a website, it's a business, a personal spot where I can take my work that I've done and I can put it up online to share with others in the developer community, in just the world. If I do a script or a program or make some sort of software that others I think would be able to use, I put it here. And I link it to this name, so when you type this in, everything that pops up shows the work. And I soon realized that it was getting tied into a lot more things than I had expected. I had mobile applications that I had written for the iPhone. I was in the top 5 apps in the world in 1 week after I submitted. I was doing tech support for people all over my town, open source projects, DVD production, website creation, and it just keeps going on and on. And it was great because I just couldn't slow down. I just had all this flow of technology all of a sudden. And if you look at our website, the first thing you notice is something called MobileCube. MobileCube was my first big project. And what it did was it was a theming sort of program. It laid on top of another program. That program is called RoundCube. It's a web-based email client. It's open source. It's kind of like a program you could put in your own local town business, a school system. They can use it as a place for their members to access their email. And what I did and helped create was MobileCube. MobileCube laid on top of RoundCube and made it sort of look like Apple's Mobile Me service. It had a cleaner look, a better UI, and all in all, it was just a great system, and it was very enjoyable to use. And after working with that and correcting it, and it's been out for about a year now, there was a huge amount of crowd that came towards it and was very excited about using this because it was the first time someone had done something to make RoundCube a better program. So I caught the attention of Apple, which at first I was questioning myself because I had used a lot of stuff based on their program. So I received an email from Apple, and at first I thought it was a promotional email about iTunes, getting a new iPad for Christmas, something. I wasn't really sure what it was. But then I noticed it was addressed specifically to me, specifically about some of the software I'd written. And I was thinking to myself, oh no, what have I done? I've done something that Apple doesn't like, and I'm going to get in trouble. But it was good. The quote that caught my eye was, would you be willing to license MobileCube to Apple under a non-GPL license? And I thought for a moment, I said, you know what? That's great. Because they were looking out. They found it, and they thought it was good enough to actually ask about it. And that was awesome to have a corporation like that see some of the work that I'd done. So after getting the attention of Apple, I noticed that I got the attention of a lot more people around the world. And I just updated the numbers last night to make sure. I checked. As of last night, this program, MobileCube I had written, has been downloaded over 25,000 times all over the world. That was crazy when I saw that number. I couldn't get over it of how many times it had been downloaded. And you know, it wasn't just local. You know, we have people from China, from Germany, from England, from Africa, from Brazil, all over the place downloading this software. And after I got the attention of all these people, one group got the attention, and they said, you know, we kind of like this. Can we use this in our software? And instead of letting them use it, I just joined the team and helped create the new software, and that's known as Crystal Mail. Now, I don't want to get too techy on people because when I talk tech, you know, I don't want to go over anyone's head. But Crystal Mail is a newer web-based email client. It's still 100% open source. It's free. You can download it right now if you'd like. But what it is, it's again a system that can be used online for education, businesses, anyone. And they can have their users log online and access their mail, their contacts, their calendar, and soon within the next year there'll be a lot more coming with that. But the group that started it all is called Studio 182. And the cool thing about Studio 182 is I believe there's 6 members right now. I'm in one of them. Studio 182 is a development group. It's a group of developers, iPhone coders, UI designers, people from around the world. I represent Maine. The project admin represents Illinois. My graphics designer, who does all of my UI work, is from England. He's 15 years old. The project admin is 16 years old. I, being the UI designer, 17 years old. We have one more student from India who does all the cloud-based computing. He's again 16. And the gentleman who codes all of our iPhone apps and Mac software is 15. We have people from around the world doing extraordinary things in our group, but they're all high school students. And the reason we do that is we want to show that you don't have to be an adult to create amazing things. You don't have to be you know, a software engineer or a programmer. You know, you can just be an every ordinary person wanting to learn something and having that drive to do it. And that's what we are. And we're trying to prove that we can do things no matter how old you are. And that's why I think the program for MLTI was such a great idea, because it helped students realize that at such a young age, you have the potential to do anything you want. And technology is just another step in the direction. So I had 5 tips that I shared with the students at Orono, and I'll share them with you as well. The first tip: set your own boundaries. I don't know how many times I can tell people that. Set your own boundaries. You do what you want to do. You want to be the next Steve Jobs. You want to be the next Bill Gates. You want to code the next amazing iPhone app that you'll generate millions of dollars. There's nothing stopping you. And the fact that we have MacBooks and MLTI laptops allows us to do things like that when other students might not be able to because they don't have access to that technology. My second tip: search, discover, and repeat. The reason I say this, search, discover, and repeat, is because all of this that I've learned, not a single person has taught me. I taught myself. I used the internet. I used it for more than just Facebook. The internet is bigger than Facebook. I discovered new things, and I moved on from there. I might start with one project, and in an hour's time, I'll end up working on 10 different projects, because you never know what the next thing will lead you to. So that's my second tip. The third one comes in handy for both students and teachers alike. Love to teach, love to learn. The reason that I feel that I have gotten so far in technology is because I loved to learn, and then I started teaching what I knew. But after a while, you can only teach so much before you get exhausted and run out of smoke. So you have to learn again. you have to listen to other people's ideas and share those ideas. It's a two-way street. You learn, you teach, you learn, you teach, and before you know it, you end up being intelligent, like in technology and stuff like this, and know more than you ever wanted to know, only because you accepted as much as you sent out. And my fourth tip, take every opportunity, no matter how big or small it is. This I directed to the students, but I directed to anybody out there who still has a passion for something. I'll give you an example. At my high school, my tech director asked me if I could help the middle school with their technology day. Nothing big. It was just a group, students getting together from the school. There was different teachers teaching different sessions and classes. I compare it almost to an Orono conference, but on a middle school level, very small. And it just allowed the students to open up their eyes, and they could see how to make photo albums and websites and design t-shirts, use iMovie. They got to play with iPads that Apple brought over. So I told the tech director that I'd help him out, and I went over to the school. And lo and behold, I met Jim Moulton from Apple. And Jim had brought over the iPads, and he was teaching an iPad session. And I just briefly mentioned to him how I work with technology. And after a while of discussing, I sent him an email of things that I had done, video productions, websites, scripts, programs. And I ended up presenting at Orono in front of 1,200 people. And after presenting at Orono, I had more conferences. I'm here at this conference. I have 3 more this fall. And I just am able to share my idea, and all because I said yes to just helping out at the middle school. So you never really know where anything's going to lead you until you just take that opportunity and go with it. You know, no matter how big or small, you never know. Something's going to happen, something will end up, and it could be a great choice. My fifth and final tip, pursue your dream and don't let anyone or anything stand in the way. I did what I wanted to do. I wanted to learn how to code. I wanted to learn how to make websites. I wanted to learn how to make software. Sure, it's fun to use, but it's even cooler to know how it works and how to write it. And that's what I did. And yeah, you get people saying, wow, Chris, you're always on that computer. You should really stop. You need to get a life. I have my life. I've created a good life, I think. Yeah, I'm social. Yes, I was just in the woods for 2 weeks last week camping. I wasn't even connected to the internet. But I still have my technology side. I love technology. I love using it. I love programming. And I just love working with people all over the world, which I have been able to do. And I love sharing it with others. So those are my 5 tips. Now what I'd like to do is just take a moment and say, become social and stay in touch. I have a website. I'm on Twitter. And I'm on Facebook. I love hearing new technology ideas. I love sharing things, just anything. I love being social with people because that's really how you get other opportunities. So in closing, I'd like to say Apple, MLTI, and you equals endless opportunities. You've been given a great device. We've all been given a great device. We've been given the MacBook. And sure, at times it may seem that students are only using it for games and Facebook. But yes, there are those rare opportunities where we use it for more than just that. The reason I got my iBook, yeah, I might have been against it at first, but look at everything that I've been able to do. And I've been very proud of my accomplishments, and I hope others are too. And I hope others see the opportunity that they've been given with this MacBook and grasp it and go on from there. Because really, there's nothing stopping them. We're, as far as I know, the only state in the country to have such an amazing program like this. So they've been given this amazing hardware, they've been given this amazing opportunity, and it's their responsibility to take those opportunities and fly with them. In closing, I just hope that we all understand that MLTI truthfully made a difference in my life, and I hope it really does make a difference in a lot of other students' lives, because opportunities are out there. They just need to go get them. Thank you.